Need something? What you need? Lou Talbot's gone, in case you didn't know. Just up and left. Oh, before I forget, Chantal called. Told me I can answer any questions you might have about those accidents after all. Guess she changed her mind. You check out Skookum Ridge? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. I ain't much of a talker. I don't get things said. I get 'em done. Well, this is my workshop. I'm building something that's gonna solve all our problems, 'cause I already know. Not a doubt in my mind. Everything was A-OK till it showed up and started howling. It's bad luck, and something's protecting it. Something unnatural. Yesterday I went looking for it. I tracked it and finally found it, sitting across the creek, not 20 yards away from me, just staring at me. So I raised my rifle, drew a bead, and fired. Easiest shot I've ever taken in my life. She knows she doesn't want that thing around her guests, and you heard her. I'm supposed to do whatever I think is necessary to get rid of it. Let me tell you something. So I fired again, and I missed, and then I missed again, and all the while it just sat there staring until finally it just stood up, walked toward the brush just as calm as could be, and disappeared. Wild animals just don't act like that, and I just don't miss like that. There's something real weird about that wolf, and I ain't gonna rest till I get rid of it. So maybe we should just find something else to jaw about. You met my little girl yet? She sure does. Of course, that little snow fort she built is pretty much her whole life. Yep. Spends most of her time outside. She built herself a little snow fort. Just sits out there waiting for somebody to go by so she can pick a snowball fight with them. I keep asking her how she manages to stay warm all day, but she won't tell me. Says she's got a secret weapon. Yeah, she's something. Where'd you get that idea? So Freddie threw an ice ball and broke the window. But me and her had a long talk, and it's never gonna happen again. Which means there's no reason to go blabbing any of this to Chantal. She's not real fond of kids to begin with. And it's not like Freddie meant to hit Lou's window. About a year and a half. I was her first hire. Best hire, too. I could run this place single-handed if I had to, just like I'm doing now. I tried my hand at it once. Long story short, didn't work out. Yeah, a little. Tough life, though. Owned my own spread about 15 years ago. Well, bank owned most of it. And after 2 bad winters and 1 bone-dry summer, the bank owned all of it. But I've learned a whole lot since then. I could make it work now. Just need to find the right property, get my hands on enough cash to make a down payment, that's all. In the summer she does, but in the winter she goes south. See, she's got this nerve condition that makes her real sensitive to cold. Freddie'd like to go with her, but until Chantal stops putting off giving me that raise she promised me, sending Freddie south too is out of the question. Can't explain it. One minute those stairs were clear and dry, next minute they're slick with ice and he's lying at the bottom of them. Yep, chipped every bit of frozen snow off of them myself. This place hasn't had so much as a leaky faucet since I came aboard. I keep everything screwed down tight and running right. You ask me, somebody iced those stairs down on purpose. 'Cause it wasn't nothing I did, no sir. No sir. Read the instructions that are in the employee manual in your room, or check the computer in the lobby. Just be careful when you're out on the ice. It can get real thin real fast on account of thermal pockets in the water. Trapper Dan's needle? Course. Don't know, don't really care. All I can tell you is it was built by the same stir-crazy old guy who built this place. Maybe something in that display up in the lobby will tell you what you want to know. Course. Sure. They want to shoot something. Where in the lobby? Only for wolves and other such varmints. It's always hunting season for them. Well, now that's real interesting. I don't trust that lady. Let's just leave it at that. Sure didn't. Not surprised, though. You call the avalanche patrol? You better give those employee instructions I left in your room another look. Reporting avalanches is part of your job. Well, hallelujah. I didn't really want to go anywhere until I finished off that wolf. Now I won't have to. Yep, course I'm right. There's the key to the snowmobile. Take it out to Skookum Ridge and see if there's been an avalanche. Seat seated so you don't have to worry about the cold. Make sure you call the patrol and give them a report when you're done. You can handle that, can't you? Just head down the driveway, then follow the red flags. They mark the way to the ridge. It ain't rocket science. You make a report to the avalanche patrol? That's okay. I'll call them. What else do you want? Only person who'd know that is Chantal. Just cross your fingers that she wrote it down. Gal's got a memory like a butterfly net. Of course, there's no need for you to go repeating that. She messed up my rifle so I couldn't shoot that wolf, so I tossed her out. Told her to take her little crusade somewhere else. No, not yet. She's not going to be happy. But by golly, that woman was a menace. Anybody who deliberately sabotages a man's rifle is capable of anything. But at least now I know why I missed that wolf, and like I told her as I was giving her the bum's rush, next time, I won't miss. Probably some animal-loving eco-fanatic who figured it was time to save the fish. Say no more. There's my tackle box. It's all yours. Kessler tried to rope me into competing with him, but I can't very well do that when you've got my hook and line now, can I? The good news is, you don't have to do the cooking anymore. I can handle it from here on out. Probably sick of salmon. Nope, sure can. Chantal and those lawyers of hers said I couldn't talk about them. Supposed to direct all questions to her. Sorry. When Chantal told me you were just a young thing, well, I thought she was pulling my leg. But you're not much older than my little girl Freddie. Chantal has a bad habit of making up her mind without thinking things clear through. No need for you to tell her I said that, of course. Afraid so. Insurance company's giving her and her lawyers a real hard time. Left running the lodge up to me. Which is why I'm not real crazy about the idea of having somebody new underfoot, especially if something else happens. We're here, so you'll get to prove yourself soon enough. You hear that? Well, now, what was that? No, ma'am. Everyone here at the lodge is accounted for. One of his deputies found the knob to the back door clear out on the highway. You sure you don't want to give your daddy a call? Why, I think that's a fine idea, ma'am. Yanni Vogtstaya, Bill Kessler, Guadalupe Camillo, and Lou Talbot. I'm gonna be pretty busy trying to get rid of that wolf, Chantal. I'll get you a master key and leave it in your room. If you need anything else, I'll be in the basement. 2 more things. That Bill Kessler guy's getting bored being the only one around here doing any ice fishing. He wants competition. So if he says anything to you, just remember that Chantal wants you to keep the guests we got happy. Other thing is, a cold snap's on its way. You think it's cold now? Just wait. Gotta be real careful anytime you're outside. So, we're done here? And I missed. She can't stand Yanni and thought she was aiming at his window. If you need anything, just holler. Good. Keep me posted. See you later. Hey, Nancy. Phone. Pick up the phone, Nancy. Nancy, Chantal's calling. Chantal's on the phone, Nancy. When you're done with an order, check off order complete on the ticket, then say order up so I know it's ready. Got that? That's not gonna cut it. Do it over. Do this over and do it right this time. I can't serve this. Make it again. If you think I'm serving this, you're loco. Something don't look right. Do this one again. This ain't right. Why, this looks downright wrong. Oh, now look what you've done. Chantal's not gonna like this. What are you, Nancy? A cook or an arsonist? You don't need an apron when you cook. You need a fire permit. Nobody likes their food that well done, Nancy. Oh, and by the way, don't go adding paprika to Lou Talbot's food anymore. He hates paprika. What in blazes happened here?
Aloha! Just off the bus, eh? If you're looking for a real deal Hawaiian vacation, you got off at the right spot. Where's the necklace? Want something else? You finished the necklace. Hey, what's up? Frank, how's your brother? He back from the clinic yet? Hey, what's going on? Sorry, can't talk. Too busy. Joe, what are you doing here? You should be out there surfing. Pua says you're a natural. That's me. You by yourself? You sign up with Big Island Mike. You'll live like a real Hawaiian. Work like they work. Play like they play. No tourist stuff. From me, you get authentic. You like the beach? I'll get you to the beach, but I'll also keep you busy. Busy doing things real Hawaiians have done for 1,000 years. And you'll have a good time doing it, I'll make sure. In fact, see, I'm like a tailor. Only I don't make clothes, I make vacations. Real, honest-to-goodness Hawaiian vacations. Custom-made to fit just you and you alone. All the 2 boys from the mainland, oh yeah, they're having a great time. I've got a couple of guys staying here about your age. They're from the mainland too. I got those boys surfing, shelling, fishing, snorkeling, everything. You sign up, you'll do everything too. Maybe even at the same time as them, huh? Well, just in case whoever told you about this place didn't give you the lowdown, here it is. Oh, you're the wahine who's going to be working up there in the rainforest with Dr. Kim studying bugs. You're going to have to pick them up and put them in jars and stuff. Just off the bus, huh? If you're looking for a real deal Hawaiian vacation, you got off at the right spot. Better to be working for Dr. Kim than up at the Hili Hili. That doctor there, he makes people mess with stuff way worse than bugs. The Hili Hili Research Center, everything up there's a big mystery. Nobody knows. Big mystery. People who work at Hili Hili, they never stay long. And when they leave, they don't talk. Dr. Kim arranged for you to use one of my rigs. Got the key right here, but you know what? I'm not gonna give it to you. A Big Island Mike immersion excursion beats chasing bugs around the jungle any day. And to prove it, I'm not gonna give you the key until you go to the beach, collect some shells, and make a necklace for me. Tell you what, I'm kinda hungry, so I'm gonna make you guess. You make me a shave ice and bring it back here. If it's my favorite flavor or combination of flavors, I'll tell you. If it's not, well, you'll just have to keep making them till you get it right. Like I always say, a busy customer is a happy customer. Let's have it. Nope, I don't like any of those flavors. Try again. I only like one of those flavors. Try again. You got two of the flavors right. Try again. You did it. That was my favorite flavor combination, lime, coconut, and mango. I call it honi awa. That's Hawaiian for sour kiss. You make the necklace, I give you the key. Only you know what? You're not going to want it anymore. You're going to walk on the beach, look for shells, sit and string them. You're going to get so relaxed, you're going to come back in here and say, "You were right, Big Island Mike. Forget the bug doctor. Sign me up." You'll see. Doesn't look like it to me. Probably not. But see, I don't approve of everything Dr. Kim does either. But the rig key, one more thing. Kane Okala. It's the people at Hili Hili. They're doing something that Kane Okala doesn't like. That's why he's back. The people that say he's just a legend, don't believe them. The rig's out front. Got a GPS system and everything. The location of Dr. Kim's camp's already programmed in. Never heard of it. And I know this island better than anybody. So if I haven't heard of it, trust me, there's no such place. It's the Hili Hili. Whatever they're doing up there, it's gonna end up ruining the pineapple fields. The newspapers know the truth. They're just too afraid of the Hili Hili lawyers to write the truth. Playing Kojak, huh? Well, I wish I knew something about this Kudo guy, but I don't. Big shorefish, real good eatin'. Ulua are big shorefish, real good eatin'. Just so happens I got their favorite food right here. No, she doesn't. In fact, I can't repeat what she says about some of them. So, how'd you like that earthquake? Got my heart going, that's for sure. Pele must be mad about something. Hawaiian goddess of fire. Her home is in Kilauea Volcano. When she's mad, she makes the ground shake. When she's really mad, she sends lava down the mountain to gobble up her enemies. No, today, nothing. But tomorrow, if she wanted to, she could turn this place into a pile of sticks. People who do bad things to her island, or fail to show her the proper respect, or people she just plain doesn't like. Who knows? Compared to Pele, Kane Okala is a noisy little fly. He's nothing. But enough about Pele. Go, get outside. You're in paradise. Enjoy. Well, if somebody'd catch me 6 ulua, I'd have an excuse to drive him into the market in Hilo, and on the way back, do a little body surfing at this great little beach I know. Tell Pua as soon as I'm done here, I'm driving up to Hilo. Last I saw, she was still trying to teach Frank how to surf. Your brother's a slow learner, huh? 5 years, give or take. Pua's idea. She saw this whole extreme vacation thing coming. I thought she was Popule, but turns out she was right. We've been making money since day one. My daughter is one smart wahine. Keeping her busy keeps her out of trouble. Surfing keeps her out of trouble, too. She's head over heels in love with it. Died when Pua was 10. Pretty rough on her. Only way she got through it was by going out on her board every day. It wasn't easy, that's for sure. She was a handful, but then she started surfing. And look at her. She's a champ. Future's as bright as they come. With Pua, what you see is what you get. Just wants to surf. And be the best in the world while she's at it. Like I told the cops, probably just some bum who wandered in off the beach looking for cash. Couple times a year. Soon as they see me, they run like heck. But today I wasn't around, so somebody figured he'd help himself. I thought he said the guy was wearing a mask. Nope, not a thing. Look, whoever the guy was, he's no richer, I'm no poorer. He's gone, I'm here, no big deal. Well, except for your brother getting walloped like that. Nah, real low priority case for them. The one guy I talked to barely looked around. But hey, you want to look around? Play detective like on TV? You go right ahead. Or maybe it's been lying there for weeks. The guy who cleans this place doesn't exactly keep it spotless. Namely, me. Real simple. Over at the necklace-making table, there's pictures of the different necklaces you can make out of shells, okay? You collect shells, you make something, you turn it in, you get whatever the picture says it's worth in Big Island bucks. You get enough Big Island bucks, you can buy some fishing gear and bait. You go fishing, you catch something, you turn it in, you get paid what it's worth. The better the bait you buy, the bigger the fish you catch, and the more Big Island bucks you get. The more Big Island bucks you get, the more stuff you can do in here. You see, a never-ending circle of fun. Everybody wins. Hey, the more money I bring in, the less I gotta charge customers like you. Whenever you're ready to turn something in, necklace, fish, whatever, go see Pua, not me. She's in charge of doling out the Big Island bucks. Father-daughter stuff, no big thing. Forget about it. I said forget about it! Never heard of him. She might have gone out with him or something. Why are you asking? That's the spirit. Mahalo. Good idea. Enjoy. Later. Have fun. Anytime. Catch you later. Frank, what are you doing here? A huge, terrible mistake, that's what it is. I've made Pele mad.
Dad?
I finally found a lava tube that bypasses the main tunnel. It's over, Pua. I'm dumping those things right now. If and when the Healy Healy Center shuts down, the land it's on reverts to us. Land we could turn right around and sell to developers. So I used Johnny Kudo to steal us some chemicals that would make insects start destroying the pineapples. And made it sound like Kane Okala was back to keep people out of the jungle so they wouldn't see us spraying. And then we spread the rumor that whatever was killing the pineapples was the Healy Healy's fault. No, Pua. Pele destroyed the tunnel for a reason. She was telling us to stop. No, Pua. Pele destroyed the tunnel for a reason. She was telling us to stop. No, Pua. It's over. The earthquake was a warning. This isn't right, and if we don't stop next, she'll destroy us. You see? You see? Pua and I will be going now. You should have stuck to catching bugs.
Bye.
Aloha! You can put the shells you find in here. Make me an aloha necklace. There's a picture of it over at the necklace-making table. You can put the shells you find in here. Sorry, my idea, my necklace, is yours. Hope I don't regret this. Never seen it before. Hey, you did it! Wasn't sure you were ready for him, but looks like I'm gonna have to stock the store with Ulua bait from now on.
How come something that makes such a mess be worth so much money? I'm never gonna get this stuff off. These are my best boots, dang it! Get out!
Nancy, now this is what you call perfect timing. I was just getting ready to put the transmission of this car back together. How's that transmission coming? Hey there. You're Nancy, the new gopher, ain't you? Well, I'm Chase. I ain't gonna shake your hand 'cause my hand's kind of a mess. Again, I appreciate the help. Right now I'm fixing the car the fella you were replacing was driving when he busted his leg. It's pretty much my job, fixing stuff. And do they call you Nancy because you Nancy too many questions? Sorry, that was supposed to be funny. A lot of people think that, but the truth is, it's my name. Has been since before the day I was born. Yeah, the team's had its share of technical difficulties, that's for sure. This here's my first time. Took a class from Scott last semester. Next thing I know, I'm on his team. Stuff breaks. If your luck's bad, it breaks a lot. Being such a negative person, though, Scott's like a bad luck magnet. With him in charge, I'd be more surprised if stuff wouldn't breaking down all the time. Not that it bothers me. Heck no. I like fixing stuff, and I like keeping busy, so this here's the perfect job for me. Plus, I'm learning a whole lot about twisters. You live in these parts, the more you know about them, the better. Yep, a bunch of stuff. Reason he broke down in the middle of that storm and slipped in all that hell was 'cause his car had run out of antifreeze, should I say coolant. And that's 'cause mice chewed holes in his hose and made it leak. It's over there on the workbench. Take a gander at it if you want. Well, I don't know about here, but I saw a mouse chew clean through a 2x4 in less than an hour once. Of course, that was probably 'cause my neighbor's dog was one piece of chicken wire away from having it for lunch. But I don't know what them mice found so appealing about that hose, but they sure went to town. Other than the fact that he can be ornier than a never-ridden bull in a bucking chute and can holler longer and louder than all the football coaches in Oklahoma put together, I like him fine. Got this sixth sense when it comes to twisters. Never seen nothing like it. Kinda spooky sometimes. Not a chance. He's got this real negative way about him. Nothing good's ever gonna come his way. Sad but true. Heck yeah, I'd like to win. It's gonna bother me a lot. But as long as you got Scott for a leader, ain't no way. Don't really know, don't much care. The truth's the truth no matter what people think. I like working with pretty much everybody. Oh, I suppose Frosty gets on my nerves sometimes. Mostly 'cause he likes himself so much there seems to be little need for anyone else to go to the trouble. But most days we get along fine. Why, you really are a city slicker, aren't you? Around these parts, everybody knows that nothing will get Mouse's attention quicker than the smell of cheese. Thanks. Hardly ever. Him and me don't exactly have a ton of stuff in common. He's the outgoing, sophisticated type, and I'm just a simple country boy. Won't let me forget it, neither. That fella likes himself so much there seems to be little need for anyone else to go to the trouble. But once you get used to that, he's an okay enough guy. And he does know his way around a camera. He's right about that much. He's okay. And he sure knows his way around a camera. He takes real good pictures, no question about that. And if he's taking one of a twister, he gets in there right up close. Thinks telephoto lenses are for sissies. Well, I always figured she didn't have much use for him. But lately, seems like she and him been hanging out with each other a lot. Nothing romantic or anything like that, just, talking. Sure don't know about what. Those aren't tokens. They're paw pennies. You can use them at Mom and Pa's general store to buy snacks and candy and the like. The ag students that work here are always dropping them, so every time I find one, I put it in that jar. Yeah, pretty much all you can get with them is candy, and as you can see, that's fine by me. Paw pennies? All you can get with them is snacks and candy and the like, which is fine by me. I tried that for a while, but I got out when the market crashed. Popular? Don't know about that, but everyone's always willing to lend a hand when there's chores to be done, so that's something. You got a sweet tooth? Well, just in case you change your mind. You're all right, Miss Nancy Drew. Tell you what, over there on my workbench is a bunch of circuit boards for the weather balloons where I was putting up. Now, since I can't put the board to use till it's been wired up just right, how about for every board you wire up right, I pay you something in paw pennies? Of course, since wiring up wrong just makes more work for me, you make too many mistakes and I only pay you some of what you earned up till then, depending on how you did. What do you say? Like my dad always said, the best things in life are the things you earn. Anytime you want, just go on over there and start wiring up boards. There's some instructions over there that'll help get you going. Anything else on your mind? By using the handy-dandy prairie dog vacuum I just invented, won't hurt one single hair on their furry little heads. At least it won't after I replace this tube with a bigger one. How soon you supposed to move 'em? Well, then get yourself over to Mom and Pa's and trade this tube in for one that's a bigger size. I'll set you up as soon as you get back. Well, let's find out. Yeah, that'll do it. There you go. One handy-dandy prairie dog vacuum. We just turn it on, stick the tube in the hole, and all the critters in the burrows going to that hole be sucked into the bag. Of course they will. Built this baby here with safety in mind. That's why it's so ugly. Now don't forget, if there ain't any critters in the burrows going to that hole, you'll lose suction and some of the ones that you've caught will escape. You gotta make sure you catch all of them before you move them. Just keep at it and you'll do fine. There's some paw pennies in if you remember to bring this back when you're done. Don't want it falling into the wrong hands. Prairie dog's life is rough enough as it is. What? Oil? Well, I've been doing no such thing. Where'd you get an idea like that? I should have known I wouldn't get away with it. Lying and conniving and sneaking around, they just don't come natural to me. My mama raised me just too right. Yeah, you do, 'cause you're right. See, I heard rumors there was an oil deposit somewhere underneath this here farm. I also heard the college was getting ready to dump the place, so I signed up with Scott figuring I could look for oil, and if I found some, try to get my daddy to invest in a little real estate. It ain't no stick, it's a divining rod. And the one I took from Paul's isn't just any divining rod neither. Used to belong to Charles Hamilton. It's that stick that made him the richest man in the state. My great-granddaddy saw it in action once. Saw it practically fly out of the man's hand and stick straight into the ground like it was being held there by some kind of magnet. The men started digging, and sure enough, they hid oil. And I found oil around here, too, a couple of times. Of course, when I started digging, all I ended up with were puddles. That's 'cause of Scott. You think I'm the one making everything go wrong? Oh, you're wrong about that. It's on account of Scott. He's the one messing stuff up around here. He's a jinx. And that's the truth. Listen, I'm truly ashamed of my behavior, Nancy. I will apologize to Pa for taking that divining rod first chance I get. And I know it's highly unlikely, but should you and my mama ever cross paths, you got a deal. You know, come to think of it, I guess I can't rightly say all the bad stuff that's been going on is just bad luck. Like when I checked out the lightning rod on the farmhouse to see why Scott's phone blew up like that, I discovered something kind of strange. Instead of being wired so any lightning that struck the house would be directed to the ground, this here lightning rod connected to the wiring inside the house. Or the TV, or the fridge. Someone just wanted to do some damage. Either that, or this thing was put up by the world's dumbest electrician. But seeing as you're here, and seeing as Debbie said I should feel free to give any job I don't have time for to you, that's just what I think I'll do. Nothing to it. All you gotta do is put the gears I just cleaned back on 3 horizontal rods. There's a notch for each gear, so just figure out which size gear goes to which notch. Of course, you gotta make sure when the gears line up vertically, they touch but don't overlap each other. It's not hard, just takes a little time and a little bit of trial and error. I need for you to run this here estimate over to Scott. It's for the body work that needs to be done on Pete's car. Scott's supposed to look it over and sign it before I give the repair shop the go-ahead. Appreciate it. Just so it gets done. Oh, it went pretty good. Didn't see any funnel clouds, but I managed to plant a sensor right in the path of a major downdraft, if you can believe that. Always. Of course. You're okay in my book, Miss Drew. Well, I just had a couple of candy bars, so just a small piece. Oh, you bet. Been trying at that all season with no luck. He went in the base vehicle by himself, but he was real happy when he heard about that sensor. Yes, ma'am. I 100% want candy. Is this a bribe? Whatever the terms, I accept. Awesome, thanks. Thanks. All right, I love chocolate. Cheese? Gotta be honest here, Nancy, if this is a joke, I don't get it. Well, that's just not even close to being candy. To be honest, I ain't really interested in cheese. No thanks, I ain't a big fan of no cheese. Cheese? No thanks, I don't really trust cheese. Sure did. You did what now? I'm real sorry, Nancy. All I did was run a few updates and... I'm very sorry it went haywire on you. I'll make sure it never happens again. All righty then. Bye now. Adios. See you around. Nice meeting you, Nancy. Just do right by Scott and you'll do fine. Yep.
Yum. Nancy, what are you doing here? Brooke? What are you talking about? And just what do you think you overheard? That's ridiculous. I have never gotten the credit I deserve for the work I've done, ever! I know more about tornadoes than any person alive, and I get neither the respect nor the compensation people half as brilliant as me get without lifting a finger. Why? Because I work for a podunk college run by podunk incompetents bent on bad-mouthing and spiting me at every turn just because I don't play well with others at their idiotic staff meetings. Because thanks to them, I'm considered impossible to work with. No other school will hire me. I'm stuck here and they know it. So yes, I've been sabotaging my own team. And yes, Brooke is paying me a small fortune to do so. Because I've had it. I'm through. A tornado's forming. I can feel it. It'll be on the ground in minutes. And it's going to be huge. And here you are, a novice out in the field and all alone. Back already? Thought you just left. What'd you forget? I said go to bed. I repeat, call it a day. Now. Quit bugging me and go to bed. Just hit the hay, all right? I want those mice removed now. I'm still seeing mice in here, Nancy. I thought I told you to get rid of those mice. Get rid of the mice, then we'll talk. Nancy Drew, you made it. I'm Scott Varnell, the person in charge of this meteorological train wreck. Welcome aboard. Nancy, hi. Look, Debbie tells me it would be good for morale if I gave people around here a few attaboys every now and then. So I just wanted to say you did a pretty fair job driving during the chase yesterday. You're back, and you've got a trap. Good. The mice seem to hang out a lot by the wall. Try putting it there. Just don't leave till you've caught them. All of them. Yes? Hello, Nancy. What's going on? What tornado? Thanks to the lousy equipment that uncle of yours stuck us with, we just spent the last hour chasing down a bunch of cumulonimbi barely capable of spawning a spring shower, let alone a tornado. Wait a minute. Did you see a tornado? Well, isn't that just peachy? We spend hours racing all over the countryside, and where's all the action? Right in our own backyard. We're never gonna win this thing. The school's gonna pull the plug on us, sell the farm, and that's gonna be all she wrote. And it's all Krollmeister's fault for saddling us with a bunch of Bush League junk. But now that you're here, maybe our luck will change. You'll be reporting to Debbie. But make no mistake, I call the shots around here. You'll be reporting to Debbie, but make no mistake, I call the shots around here. In fact, ever seen a real tornado, Nancy? 2 things you need to do right off the bat. I gotta give a workshop on tornado preparedness at the junior high school next week, so put a sample disaster kit together for me. If anything's missing, go up the road to Ma and Pa's and get it there. Look, you're here because that rich uncle of yours said you could do the job, so be a little resourceful and just do it, okay? If you need a nanny, have your uncle send one. We don't have the budget. Second thing you need to do is redesign the warning siren layout for the local community. They just got a set of new sirens and their range is different, so the town asked me, and now I'm telling you, to figure out where to place them so if there is a tornado, everyone will be within earshot of a siren. All the information you need is on the chart in the other room. You have questions about anything, bug Debbie, not me. Nice meeting you. What'd you think? Were you excited? Terrified? Did it make you want to go home? What? Now that's what I like to see. Wish I could get that sort of enthusiasm out of my students these days. Between you and me, the last few years I've gotten stuck with the worst students. I could be telling them about the most exciting storms on record, and all I get back is a sea of bored faces. Before they defunded my department, I got the best of the best. Students who really cared, like Debbie, but those days are over. What are you, like 18? Do me a favor, kid, don't talk to me about disappointment till you've lived long enough to experience it firsthand. I'm sorry, Nancy, I know you meant well. Anyway, good news is it looks like weather conditions for the next 2 weeks are going to be ideal for tornado genesis. So, still think tornadoes are cool? That's something that researchers, myself included, all too often forget. As exciting as it is to chase tornadoes, they are hugely destructive, and the damage they do to lives and livelihoods is all too often horrible and irreparable. What a disheartening day. An EF3, and we failed to get so much as 1 inch of footage on it. Thanks to you. Frosty says you failed to fix his video camera in time to record anything. Look, I don't want to hear excuses. Just go. Call it a day and make sure it doesn't happen again, okay? Okay. Well, let's not get cocky. I mean, there's always room for improvement. For instance, when you're driving in a steady downpour, you should always... Ah! Did you see that? Did you see that? Those dagnabbit mice are everywhere, and I'm sick of it. So if you were wondering what your next job was going to be, now you know. Get rid of the mice in here. Just make sure you do it humanely, or Debbie will never let me hear the end of it. Maybe you can get one of those Piper guys, or better yet, some kind of catch-and-release trap at that Ma and Pa store. Just get it done, okay? Oh yeah, he warned me this was coming. I'll take care of it, thanks. Pretty scary how much damage a bunch of frozen raindrops can do to a car. Of course, they've been frozen to the size of golf balls thanks to several miles worth of updraft. Yes, that was Frosty. Look, go down there and whatever his problem is, take care of it, okay? I don't have time for any histrionics. Just what I said. Right now, Canute College offsets the costs of maintaining this place with funds from private companies like the Healy. But apparently that money's about to dry up, so if we don't win this competition, there goes the farm. Brooke Tavener, she heads the chase team that in all likelihood is going to whoop our collective fanny in the competition. I don't know. Look, if it's all the same to you, I'd just as soon talk about something else, okay? Cats? Forget about it. I'm deathly allergic to cats. Mice are annoying, but at least they don't leave me sneezing and short of breath. Sure. Okay. You bet. I guess. Why not? Nope, can't do cheese. My specialist says it's bad for my blood pressure. Cheese? What is this, some kind of cruel hoax? The old cheese for candy trick. Not falling for it, Nancy. Cheese? I hate to be the one to break it to you, Nancy, but cheese is not candy. Wait, did you ask if I wanted candy or if I wanted cheese? I'm a little confused. Nancy, this is cheese. What am I supposed to do with cheese? Ugh, I hate chocolate. Keep it. Nope, I don't do chocolate. Oh, cool. Gum. Even better. It's not quite candy, but it'll do. No, I don't touch that stuff anymore. Bad s'mores experience back in 2002. Which means we could be in for a record-breaking string of tornadoes. You may be putting that enthusiasm to good use. Nope. Why do you ask? What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, well, that's the reality of life, Nancy. You don't honestly think life gets more exciting as you age, do you? Because it doesn't. Dreams fade, hearts get broken, friends get too lost in their own lives to call. Trust me, enjoy your youth while you have it, kid, because the downhill ride, it ain't fun. Now I see why Debbie speaks so highly of you. Optimists of a feather. Tell you what, I'll admit that you just may be right. I hope you're right. I just don't think you are. Let's switch topics, all right? This has been a long enough trip down memory lane for the day. More concerned? What exactly are you implying, Nancy? And you don't think I do now? I'm sorry I don't still wear my heart on my sleeve, but that's a very amateur thing for a scientist to do. I'll let it go if we can just move on. What kind of a question is that to ask? Yes, of course I am. You'd be too, but does that mean it's my fault? No, it doesn't. Huh? No, that's not true. Exactly. I'm not the type to go after the personal lives of fellow scientists. You know, maybe you should spend less time talking to Pa and more time doing your job here, Nancy. Rich uncle or no, you have work to do. So do it. Fine by me. Whatever. Don't hurry back. Ta-ta.
Oui. Ah, are those the photos Minette promised me? Still here? Mademoiselle Drew, what is it now? Please, in English. I do not wish to hear my native tongue butchered while I eat. As for my name, please, in English. I do not wish to hear my native tongue butchered while I eat. As for my name, not Traquenard. It is Jean-Michel Traquenard. Traquenard! Enough! What can I do for you, Mademoiselle? Oh? What happened to Ezer? Ezer Mickey. Merci. I was afraid Ezer had forgotten. So, you had the pleasure of meeting Herr von Schwesterkrank, eh? I fashion outfits which designers create for specific and usually very wealthy individuals. Clothes which allows a designer to fully explore and express his or her creativity. In the world of couture, a single creation worn by someone famous to a high-profile event, such a dress can be worth a fortune in publicity, which makes it a desperately competitive world. A dog-eat-dog world. A world where bad things can and do happen to good people. You must order something. I insist. Then you are an intelligent young lady, Nancy. La carte, s'il vous plaît. La carte, s'il vous plaît. Our Lady of the Mask has fired 3 assistants in the past 5 months. I hope you are not next. In fact, that Ezer has managed to avoid the axe for this long is truly remarkable. I believe she is the victim of botched plastic surgery. Some women with noses that would put birds of prey to shame are perfectly content with their appearance, while others with acceptable features are convinced they are more hideous than Frankenstein. Self-image. It can make people do strange things. No, but I tell you this, Nancy. Ugo Batelli, without a doubt. Not only do he and Minette have similar design styles, so that they are constantly competing for the same couture clients, but both of them are unthinking, socially inept egoists. It is a rare week that goes by without one of them insulting the other. Not to my knowledge. Other than the people she has fired unfairly, the model she has treated badly, and the vendors she has harassed over the years? No. Other than the people she has fired unfairly, the model she has treated badly, and the vendors she has harassed over the years? No. You ask very curious questions, Mademoiselle Drew. They make me think you know more than you are saying. And as a member of the press, I'm not sure that I like that. I merely assemble the facts. Who is designing what? Who is wearing what? Who looks beautiful? Who looks ridiculous? I gather the facts, and I present them in my column. No. But that does not make me unqualified to comment on the designs of others. One does not need to be a chef to appreciate fine cuisine, Mademoiselle Drew. If the fashion world takes what I write to its heart, why should it not? My observations, they are intelligent and they are impartial. They must be. If I allow myself to be tainted by outside interests, my credibility, she vanishes. If the fashion world takes what I write to its heart, why should it not? My observations, they are intelligent and they are impartial. They must be. If I allow myself to be tainted by outside interests, my credibility, she vanishes. So too, my career. When I'm writing my column, I go to my office at Glam Glam. When I'm researching my column, I come here. I have my telephone, which can do everything save sing the Marseillaise, good food, and a chair for whomever stops by. When I'm writing my column, I go to my office at Glam Glam. When I'm researching my column, I come here. I have my telephone, which can do everything save sing the Marseillaise, good food, and a chair for whomever stops by. His phone number is right here in my digital assistant. But of course, I know everyone who is anyone when it comes to fashion. And Gigi, she is a breath of fresh air. From what I hear, very well. Which is surprising when you consider all things. She did a lot of work earlier this year for Ugo Butterly, which, I do not doubt, is why Minette was so eager to use her. Unfortunately for Gigi, I assume she told you how she was tricked into a current contract with Minette. Of course, it was Gigi's agent who misled her, not Minette. Nevertheless, Gigi seemed very upset when I talked to her. She does not wish to be stuck in Paris for so long. The perils of being a model, eh? If you do not know, you will have to ask Gigi. Just because I know everything that happens in the world of haute couture does not mean that I repeat everything. Dieter is a very enterprising young man, which in most cases is good, but when arrogance enters the picture, not like Dieter, c'est impossible. Some designers, they prefer to use live models instead of inert forms when putting the final touches on their creations. Minette is such a designer, and Gigi is currently such a model. So, do you, like Ezer, hope to leave your mark on the world of couture? So, what else do you wish from me? You mean Gigi, Ling. Gigi. En français, you pronounce G like J and J like G. She may very well be JJ in America, but in France, she is Gigi. Ah! Ham and cheese grilled on a baguette, one of my favorites. Who can resist cassoulet? Chicken dumplings, you are going to love them. Ground steak, or what you Americans call hamburger, without the bun, of course, and quite raw. But of course, you, however, will have to pay this time. Order anything you like, but know that this time you will pay for it. Go right ahead. But it is no longer my treat. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Au revoir, mademoiselle. D'accord. À tout à l'heure. C'est rien. Henri? Henriette? Le carte? You heard Henri. Unfortunately, your days of ordering food at the Café Kiki are fini. You heard Henriette. Unfortunately, your days of ordering food at the Café Kiki are fini. I'm sure it was. Most photographs are these days. Why? As it happens, all the pictures which I use in my articles are stored right here in my digital assistant. I will help you, mademoiselle, but only if you help me first. I do not remember seeing any dials in the picture, but... You see, the owner of this cafe, he faces a crise. The person who makes desserts for him has stepped out for his customary 2.5-hour break. Unfortunately, a bus full of American teenagers has pulled up, and all are clamoring for parfait. So, I will tell the owner that you will make the parfait, and when you do, he will be indebted to me and will allow me to continue using this table as my office. And I will be indebted to you and will allow you to see the picture. You see how it works? Of course, it's extremely unlikely that you will be able to talk to him in person. Even I occasionally have trouble penetrating the wall of sycophants that surrounds him. I can't believe she doesn't know. A parfait, it is a dessert made of layers of various delectable ingredients. To make them, one does not need to be a rocket scientist. Now go. The owner, he tells me you did a good job. And so, as was our agreement, here is the picture you wish to see. Certainly. I think so. Impossible. Out of the question. Order anything you want. Everything here is superb. And Henri, he is the best waiter in all of France. Order anything you want. Everything here is superb. And Henriette, she is the best waitress in all of France. Merci, Henri. Ajoutez-le à mon édition, s'il vous plaît. Merci, Henriette. Ajoutez-le à mon édition, s'il vous plaît. You need to give him 8 euros. You need to give him 11 euros. You need to give her 11 euros. You need to give her 8 euros. The price is 12 euros. That will be 5 euros. Your choice costs 9 euros. The price is 10 euros. Frog legs, a brave but wise choice. They are magnifique. Ice cream with a sprig of mint on top. So refreshing.
You lose.
Oh là là! Je suis désolé, Henri, mais la jeune fille n'a pas d'assez d'argent. Oh là là! Je suis désolé, Henri, Mais la jeune fille n'a pas d'assez d'argent. As you wish. As you wish.
The norm is 44 euro. I get new things all the time. You must come back. Au revoir. Maybe you will want something next time. Au revoir. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Not just any wetsuit. It used to belong to a friend of the famous undersea explorer Jacques Cousteau, a friend who is said to have shared many adventures with him. For that reason, I sell it for 125 euro. Even if that wetsuit leaked, which it does not, it will be worth what I am asking. 125 euro. 125 euro. The price is very reasonable. 20 euro. My fine feathered friend is only 20 euro. I have been told that it is probably a decoder used by those who resisted the German occupation of World War II. You never know when you might need to break a code. 15 euro. That book is only 15 euro. 8 euro. One can never have too many light bulbs. 8 euro. That is more than fair. The light bulb is 8 euro. Very cheap. 15 euro. Only 15 euro. If you are cooking and you run out of an ingredient, that book tells you what you can use in its place. So if you must cook, you must have that book. Fortunately, I charge only 8 euro. I will let it go for 8 euro. Come back. Perhaps you will see something later. Au revoir. By any chance, does Mademoiselle wish to earn some money? The tourists, they like to buy hand-painted reproductions of famous works of art. But as you can see, it is difficult for me to paint them. But for a young woman such as you, it is easy. You see, the lines are already there. You look at the original painting, you put paint on your brush, you paint between the lines. Voila! A painting which the tourists will gobble up. And I pay you 15 euro for each one you complete. Do you wish to start now? Later, yes. Now you buy something. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Monsieur Marchand, à votre service. American tourist? Bonjour, mademoiselle. What do you wish to buy? Bonjour, mademoiselle. What do you wish to buy? I like Americans. They are smart. I sell good stuff and they can tell. I know you are a tourist because I saw you looking at the monument over there with the cross of Lorraine. I like Americans. They are smart. I sell good stuff and they can tell. So, what are you going to buy? Oh, but of course, take your time. Interesting assortment. I pay you 20 for all of it. Interesting assortment. I pay you 30 for all of it. Interesting assortment. I pay you 40 for all of it. Interesting assortment. I pay you 50 for all of it. C'est bon. And now, what would mademoiselle like to buy? Then, what would you like to buy? That is the arm of a robotic monster with a very interesting history. The police detective who sold it to me says the arm figured into the capture of a dangerous criminal who operated out of an amusement park in America. I sell it to you for 18 euro. A real steal, if you will pardon the expression. Vendu. What else tickles the fancy? Only 18 euro. It is a genuine Parisian manual cover, one which would make a fine souvenir for someone back home. And it is only 45 euro. The metal it's made of is worth more than that. 45 euro, take it or leave it. 35 euro. I am told that game was very popular among American gold miners back in the Old West, especially with those who had to travel by train. It is a real novelty, but I'll let you have it for only 18 euro. This is a piece of American history. 18 euro is my final price. That piece of American history will cost you 18 euro. A little dirt, a colorful plant, and voila, you have a very interesting mobile planter. It is yours for 8 euro. The imaginative buyer could put it to many uses. I accept no less than 8 euro. Only 8 euro. If you are the driver of a car, you must have that book. You never know when something is going to break or wear out or just, boom, explode. Peace of mind, that is what that little book gives you. And it is yours for just 11 euro. The price is 11 euro. You can have it for 11 euro. It is an excellent coffee can. I practically give it to you for €7. A mere €7. Oui, it contains an American short film. I am not sure if it is about a beloved beast of burden in Tibet or about someone who talks a lot, but it has won many awards, and the fact that it is in a nice blue canister makes it well worth €84. For an award-winning piece of Hollywood, €84 no less. €84. No garden should be without a gnome, because that one is in such excellent condition. I am asking €44 for it. That gnome is fantastique. €44, that is my price. Bonjour, mademoiselle. As you can see, you have many new things to choose from. What intrigues you? Just step to the easel. Get me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968. I will accept nothing less. In the meantime, bonjour, mademoiselle returns. Bonjour. What intrigues mademoiselle this time? Nothing. It is not for sale. It is a piece of history. I have it only as an eye-catcher. I will trade you one piece of history for another. You give me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968, and I give you the decoder. Mouton Fouetté 1968 is a very rare beverage that is usually stored underground. Unfortunately, finding an intact bottle has become next to impossible. But if you want the decoder, the impossible is what you must do. So, get me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968. I will accept nothing less. In the meantime, get me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968. I will accept nothing less. Oh la la, you did it. So, I take this and give you this. Take it, you have earned it. That is a very good book about codes which are commonly used. It is a mere €15. But of course, you have done it wrong. I cannot pay you for this, because I cannot sell this. Go, paint another. I throw this one out, but please, no more mistakes. I am not a rich man, you know. Ah, you have done it wrong again. Please, no more mistakes. Perhaps you just need to buy something. Magnifique! You have done excellent work, and for that, I reward you. Do you wish to paint another? Be my guest. Another fine job. Here is your money. You wish to make money? You can paint for me. Allow me to explain. Then you must paint pictures. Very well. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
There are 4 suits in a scopa deck. Coins, cups, swords, and clubs. Each suit has 10 cards. 7, the most valuable card. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and ace. There are also 3 face cards. Valet, knight, king. When you are taking tricks during the game, each card is worth what it says, with a valet worth 8, a knight 9, and a king 10. However, for scoring at the end of the game, 7s are the most valuable, followed by 6s, aces, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, then all face cards. For scoring, these are called primes. To play the game, 3 cards are dealt to each player, then 4 cards are placed face up in the play area. If 3 kings appear, the cards are redealt. The player who did not deal the cards goes first. When it is your turn, you must play 1 card and 1 card only from your hand. Now, you have a 2, and there is a 2 in the play area. So you will play your 2 and take a trick. I discard a valet worth 8. You cannot make a match, so you discard your 3. I discard the 2. Now, because you have a knight in your hand, which is worth 9, and there is a 6 and a 3 in the play area, 6 plus 3 equals 9, which means you have a match and you take a trick. I discard my ace, and because we are both out of cards, I deal us both 3 more cards. Ah! You have a 7 in your hand. You also have an ace, which is worth 1, a 4, and a 2 in the play area, which add up to 7. But there is also a 7 in the play area. So, which do you match with your 7? The 3 cards that add up to 7, or the 7? The rules say when presented with such a choice, you must take the trick by collecting the single card. And so, You match your 7 card with the 7 card in the play area and take a trick. I make a match with the valet and take a trick. You have yet another 7 in your hand. Now you match it with the ace, the 4, and the 2 and take a trick. And since you have taken the last card in the play area, you say Scopa and get a point. We continue to play by discarding and taking tricks until all 40 cards have been played. At that point, we count the points we have won by taking tricks and getting Scopas. The first person to get 11 or more points wins. If no one has 11 or more points, the deck is shuffled, the other person deals, and we play another round. That is an illegal trick, Samantha. That is not allowed. The rules say you cannot do that. Scopa! 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 Congratulations, you won. Game over and you won. You have won the game. You won. Nicely played. Nice try, but I win. Looks like I win. I'm afraid the loser is you. You lose. Just to be safe, I will review the rules of the game as we play it here at the Casa dei Giochi. Just to be safe, I will review the rules of the game as we play it here at the Casa dei Giochi. Those don't add up. You cannot discard that card because you can take a trick with it. You cannot take several cards with a card in your hand if a similar card is on the table. We've played all our cards. You took the last trick, so you get all the cards left on the table. We've played all our cards. I took the last trick, so I get all the cards left on the table. I took the last trick, so I get all the cards remaining on the table. You took the last trick, so you get all the cards left on the table. What a great way to end the last round. Unfortunately, in this case, no point is given for a Scopa. Now we score the tricks we took. Time to score our tricks. Now to score. Let us see what cards we have won. Let's see how we did. You get 1 point for having the most coin cards. I get 1 point for having the most coin cards. You get 1 point for having the 7 of coins. I get 1 point for having the 7 of coins. You get 1 point for having the most tricks. I get 1 point for having the most tricks. Now, let's add up what each card is worth and see who got the highest number of primes. You have the most valuable tricks, so you get 1 point. I have the most valuable tricks, so I get 1 point. And lastly, we score the Scopas. No one has reached 11 points, so we continue to play. It appears you have won, Samantha Quick. You won. Fantastic. You have beaten me. You win. We are tied, so we continue to play. I win. I have the most points, so I win. You have lost, and I remain the Scopa champion. I have beaten you, Samantha. I won. We both have the same number of coin cards, so no one gets a point. We both have the same number of tricks, so no one gets a point. We both have the same number of valuable tricks, so no one gets a point. Sono Enrico Tazza. Benvenuta a Venezia. You have changed your mind about playing Scopa? You want to play Scopa after all. Is Scopa the reason for your quick return? You are still here? Why have you returned so quickly? Did I not make everything clear? You have the sapphire. Since our business is completed, you must be here for Scopa. Samantha, do you have the sapphire? So, you're not only young and attractive, but enthusiastic as well. Tell me more about yourself, Samantha. Oh, of course not. The sooner you get to work, the sooner we will be compensated. I understand. Besides, having never met you before, I would have no way of knowing if what you tell me is a lie or the truth. I always wear the same costume for Carnevale. Why? Because I'm a very superstitious man. I believe that always doing things a certain way brings good fortune. For instance, I never discuss business with anyone unless and until that person beats me at the game of Scopa. Are you familiar with the game? It's a card game, very popular in Venice. We play it with the traditional Italian deck of 40 cards. Just to be safe, I will review the rules of the game as we play it here at the Casa dei Giochi. Are you ready to play? Of course. Then we have nothing more to say to each other. It was a pleasure meeting you, Samantha. Ciao. And because you beat me, we can finally talk business. I have a client who desires the Sadal Melek Sapphire. Have you heard of it? Would you like to play again? How about another game? Do you want to keep playing? Excellent. You may ask me anything, but only while we're playing Scopa. Very well. This is the mask and costume of Arlecchino, one of the characters from a form of theater called Commedia dell'arte. I dress like him because it is difficult to explain. I'm afraid it's what you Americans call an inside joke. You are very well informed, Samantha. I know of him, of course, thanks to a friend at Scotland Yard. Baxter claims to be an ex-art thief, but in my experience, there is no such thing. The Sadal Melek is said to be the largest and most beautiful star sapphire in all of Europe. As you probably know, its current owner is a man named Vladimir Thanatos, who keeps it at the Palazzo Zateri, guarded by one of the most sophisticated security systems ever devised. Forgive me. Even someone with your youthful energy and talent will find stealing it a challenge. Which is why I suggest you contact Gina as soon as possible. The more time you give her, the more details on the system she will be able to give you. You Americans and your sense of humor. Gina who? You are a hoot, Samantha. But now, back to business. Contact Gina soon. There, business is over. Back to pleasure. Do you have time for another game of Scopa? Play again. Excellent work, Samantha Quick. I will... Pronto? You know the rules, Nico. I cannot tell you what your next target is. You keep a list in that Chinese puzzle box, no? When you shake it, that compartment opens up. Nico, no. How could you have lost it? Never mind. Go to the Capitano and get him to tell you. And when you go after the target, do not wear that costume. You are trying Il Dottore's patience. Okay, ciao. Where were we? Your fee. Unfortunately, that is business, which means we cannot discuss it until you have once again beaten me in a game of Scopa. I will wire your fee to the Swiss bank account set up by your agency within the hour. Play again. We must keep playing until you win, Samantha. If and when the right project comes along, who knows? Without a doubt. Not for me at the moment, but, of course, whatever you wish. What a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting you until after Carnevale. Excuse me. When you do, that is when you should come back. Then our conversation is over. Good luck, Samantha. As soon as you have the sapphire, bring it to me. It seems that all the rumors I've heard about you were true, Samantha. It has been a pleasure.
Hi, you're that Nancy person. How you doing? John Gray. No luck getting the duct tape out of that box yet? Hey, glad you stopped in. You gotta listen to this. Sup? Right now I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Laurie's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Laurie's whereabouts. Then I don't have to explain what I'm doing. What to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. That's my working theory, at least. Sure, a train is basically nothing but a living space on wheels, and just like a house or a hotel, its walls can capture and hold energy, however infinitesimal, whatever its source. You see, it's all very scientific. But the fact is, Laurie's missing, and I for one am doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble. Charlene Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment. I kind of feel sorry for the guy. After catching those bank robbers, he can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure. I doubt it. In fact, first time I met her was when I boarded this train with all the rest of you. I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this train is her friend. You mean so we'd concentrate all our efforts on finding Jake Hurley? Possible, although she really doesn't strike me as being the planning type. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe you can be too rich after all. Got some right there in my gearbox. That's the good news. The bad news is, I can't open the box. I've never tried to open it without the key, but if you want that duct tape, go ahead and give it a shot. Need something else? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I'd packed them in, that one over there. That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake. Newsflash, my show was canceled. Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions? Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No. Really? Actually, I'm not surprised. They're probably some form of piezoelectricity. See, my guess is quartz crystals in the ground are being compressed as the train passes over them, and the resulting voltage, called piezoelectricity, is manifesting itself as glowing lights, probably because of some quirk in the train's shape or in the composition of the metals used in its construction. It was custom-built, remember. Strange. My vibes are never wrong. What's even stranger is I'm still getting them. So maybe they're not about Lori. Maybe they're about you. Trust me. Either you or Lori is, or soon will be, in big trouble. I happen to be both. What's commonly referred to as psychic phenomena is all a matter of energy. Just because we don't know where that energy is generated or how to measure it yet, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Unfortunately, no. Don't say I didn't warn you. Oh yeah, not only am I getting some real unusual EMRs, that's electromagnetic readings, but take a look at this. You're skeptical. That's cool. Just remember, the key word when it comes to ghostly phenomena is energy. That blob is the result of Camille's residual life force, spirit if you will, reacting with the chemicals in the photographic paper. Take it from me, old Mother Nature is capable of some pretty scary stuff. So be careful what you say in here. She's listening. Don't remind me. Turns out Tino had no idea where he was going. Good thing for him my fingers were frozen stiff. Otherwise, I would have strangled him. That's a good question. Applying force to an object by distorting its electromagnetic field requires such a highly organized concentration of energy that I'm inclined to doubt it. Ask me again at the end of this trip. Something tells me if we make it that far, and something also tells me that's a pretty big if, all will become clear. Okay, it could be that too, but it's not. Trust me. Come back anytime. Pleasure talking to you. Goodbye. Take care. Sorry. Hey, come on over here. Don't do that, please. Those microphones I set up over there are very sensitive. You just about took out my eardrums. I moved my microphones, so if you want to play the piano, knock yourself out.
Thank you.
You can play that thing when I'm done. I'll let you know when that is, all right?
Okay.
Ah! It's an antique lockbox that I found in this abandoned monastery I scoped out on my show last year. You can open it with either the key, which I just discovered I forgot to bring with me, or the combination, which you're supposed to be able to figure out just by looking at the box. Fortunately, I didn't put anything critical in there. If you get it open, the duct tape's all yours. I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one? I set up a camera and took some time-lapse photos. Sometimes I was in the room, sometimes I wasn't, but somewhere along the line, I managed to get a shot of Camille.
Where? You don't mean that little blob, do you?
Yep, that's Camille. I put this digital recorder in the corner where Camille showed up in that picture and turned it on so it would just keep recording. Now when you play it back at normal volume, all you hear is background noise. But when you turn the volume way up and run the signal through a filter or two, hear that?
I hear something. It kind of sounds like a woman singing.
Not just any woman.
Camille.
Please don't. Don't even think about it. Nancy? No, no, no. I don't know. Sorry. I guess. No problem. Don't do that, please. Those microphones I set up over there are very sensitive. You just about took out my eardrums.
Hey, doing a little end-of-the-day shopping, huh? See something you like? Yo, still here, huh? Need something else? And she's back! Sneeze lady, what's going on? Hey, so where's that gumbo you said you were gonna get me? That my gumbo? More gumbo? That's what I wanna hear. I'm Lamont. This is my place. So if you got any questions, I'm the guy to ask. Keep looking around. You'll change your mind. No problem. What's the number?
21 21-3872.
21-3872. Here we go. That ticket was for a large box of assorted, unknown items I bought from Henry Boley. And, that's all I can tell you. Look, I just don't want to make trouble for anyone, okay? It's a box with a bunch of different things in it, kind of like a grab bag. It's still in the back room. I haven't had a chance to really go through it yet. Hey, is there something else I can help you with? Beads, hula dolls, old books. Got great deals on all of them. No, I met him at the reception at Bruno's house following the funeral. Gave Henry my card, said when he wanted to start liquidating, he should give me a call. Way I hear it, Bruno Boley didn't have any friends. But I wish he had been my friend. I mean, didn't look like it, but what he lacked in quality, he made up for in quantity. That house of his is filled with junk. He kept everything. For someone in my business, the place is knick-knack heaven. Hoodoo's something some of the more superstitious people around here practice. They think if you mix certain herbs and roots a certain way and drink 'em, or carry special objects around in little mojo bags, it can give you a supernatural edge in your daily life. All I can tell you is, hey, I hear you, but I can't knock it, 'cause let me tell you, the stuff I got in here sells like hotcakes. Somebody thinks it works, so hey, who knows? What makes you ask that? No. I know the legend, of course, and I sure wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of those babies. I mean, I could sell it for a fortune. But no such luck. Funny. I've been thinking about those skulls lately. A lot. 9. Guess so. Guy I bought this place from wouldn't sell it to me unless I swore I wouldn't change the name. So I didn't. Funny thing was, his name wasn't Zeke either. We're not close personal friends or anything, but I certainly know of him. Comes from one of the wealthiest and most prominent families in New Orleans. And on top of all that, he's a doctor. Guy's gotta be rolling in dough. Must be nice, huh? Just so happens I'm starving, so hey, you got a deal. That hit the spot, thanks. Uh-oh. Oh, you're gonna have to excuse me. Just so happens I'm starving. You got a question, just holler. Outstanding! Just watch the hot sauce. Whatever's in it gives my stomach instant fits. You got a question, just holler.
By the way, that gumbo stand outside, what do you think? Is it pretty authentic?
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan.
By the way, that gumbo stand outside, what do you think? Is it pretty authentic?
Enjoy. Enjoy.
By the way, that gumbo stand outside, what do you think? Is it pretty authentic?
Take your time. Take your time.
By the way, that gumbo stand outside, what do you think? Is it pretty authentic?
Sure, what do you need? Sure. Nope. Yes. Could be. Sure. No idea.
No. You always go digging around in people's fireplaces? Ah, no way. I have no idea. No. Yes. Fine by me. So, Nancy, nice to meet you. Ned sent you here to check up on me, huh? So, Nancy, you finally decided to talk to me. Back so soon? That was fast. Forget something? You put those books back in the box yet? I said end of conversation. Yes? Ned's a nice guy. I mean, I really don't know him that well, just from school. But when I mentioned that my only living relative just died, he was all like, yeah? How you feeling, man? You doing okay? Wanna talk? Of course, I guess I do come across as a little needy sometimes. Not really. Great Uncle Bruno named me executor of his estate, which means I have to make sure all his bills are paid and debts taken care of so his assets can be distributed. Unfortunately, he couldn't have cared less about little things like keeping records or balancing checkbooks. Dealing with his creditors and their lawyers has been an absolute nightmare. Great Uncle Bruno, and no, I wasn't. I wouldn't exactly call Great Uncle Bruno a loved one. My parents died in a car crash when I was 8. Since I had no other relatives, he took me in, or should I say he shipped me out. Boarding school, summer camp, military school, college. He may have looked after me, but he never spent any time with me. I didn't know him at all. I have no idea, nor will I until I get all his affairs settled. He was a dentist for most of his life, so he must have had some money squirreled away. As you can tell, he was darn good at squirreling away junk. Somebody from a curio shop came in and took a quick look around, but it wasn't anything formal. No way. I can't imagine anyone putting up with him for a day, let alone for a lifetime. So, thanks for stopping by, Nancy. And now you can report back to Ned that I'm fine and go enjoy New Orleans. No offense, but are you sure you didn't just pass out from the heat and humidity or something and dream that you saw the skeleton dude? Okay, look around all you want. But I should probably warn you, Uncle Bruno was into exotic pets. Didn't believe in cages, so he gave him the run of the place. And just because he's dead doesn't mean they are. So if you're gonna go poking around, be careful. Let me guess. Because of the big storm that's blowing in. Everyone in the city's freaking out, and you can't get a cab. Person at the bank told me, just before she put me on hold for 2 hours. Don't worry, we've got plenty of food here, beds, candles. You're welcome to stay. Apparently someone stole the canvas. Renee says it disappeared sometime after Bruno died. In a way, it was of my parents. I think it was painted in the garden out back. Renee doesn't like me. Wouldn't surprise me if she took it out of spite. So she says. All I know for sure is that it's gone. Anything else? What box of things? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, somebody screwed up somewhere because I haven't sold anything to anybody. Why would I sell one lousy box of stuff when I'm about to inherit a whole house full of stuff? Get real. How do you know about her?
Playing detective is actually a lot more than a hobby with me.
Look, you don't need to go telling Renee or any of those lawyers about selling that stuff, right? There wasn't any crystal skull in that box. Well, I did throw in some smaller boxes. Like I said, I was just grabbing stuff. Was it valuable? Great. Be just my luck to have sold something that wasn't junk to that glorified trash collector. What do you need? Just drop dead in the front hallway. I mean, the guy was 95 years old. Here, check it out. Myocardial infarction. That's doctor speak for heart attack. And his best friend, or so I'm told. I've never met him. No? Should I care? Don't know anything about it, sorry. Because great Uncle Bruno used to oversee the cemetery next door. Made that scale model so he could keep track of where everything, or should I say everyone, was. Crafted all those miniature crypts himself. And people think I'm weird. Thanks to that iguana, paper's like non-existent in here. Try asking Renee. Sure don't. Try asking Renee. What do you need chalk for?
It's kind of a long story.
Well, can't help you there either. Sorry. She's this girl I'm in love with. I think she loves me back, but she's so unpredictable it drives me nuts. I never know what's gonna make her happy. Like, just before I left, I took practically every bit of cash I had and bought her a bunch of CDs. You know, to keep her occupied while I was gone, right? Well, soon as I get here, she calls and says her sound system just went bluey and I had to buy her a new one because what good were the CDs I bought her if she couldn't play them? So then all the time, mostly over how schizoid she is. I mean, yeah, I wired her the money, but then she called and said she also needed new headphones. Next call, it was new speakers, and now she expects me to buy her a flat-screen TV. When I try to talk to her about always wanting more like that, she gets really mad. But I'm afraid if I don't give her what she wants, I'm afraid she'll dump me, and I couldn't take that. I mean, she's the only girlfriend I've ever had. Ever will have, probably. Looks to me like some kind of tracing. Well, I sure don't know anything about it. That's one of Uncle Bruno's glass eyes. It's the one he was wearing when he died. You want to borrow it? What for?
Actually, all I really want is the eye. I mean, it's just so cool.
What if you break it? I don't think I want to take that chance. Sorry. I know. You still want the glass eye? Take it. Go ahead. It's all yours. You want something, I want something, take it and we're even, okay? $300. That's all I've gotten out of his estate. I swear. Go on, take it. I was naughty, but from now on I'll be nice, I promise. Don't ask me. It's kind of weird. Apparently he built the crypt himself, but he never indicated in his will or anywhere else that that's where he wanted to be buried. I stuck his ashes in there anyway and had the thing inscribed. If that's not what he wanted, too bad. He had a dog? That's news to me. In other words, no, I sure don't. Groovy. Sounds good. Whatever. Awesome. Probably because he lost one of his. Yep. Wore a glass eye for as long as I can remember. Had a whole collection of them. Liked to wear a different color every day. That was Uncle Bruno's pet iguana, Iggy. He's always in here stealing paper. He must be using it to build a nest or something.
Look, I had all those books arranged so they fit perfectly in that box. Put them back in, okay? I don't have time. Go right ahead. After you put all those other books back.
Come on, Summer, give me a break here. You never said anything about that. Well, how was I supposed to know? I mean, what am I, telepathic? No, come on, don't get upset. Look, I'll see what I can do, okay? What do you mean, something else? You gotta be kidding me, Summer. I don't have that kind of money. No, I meant I don't have it now, but I will soon, okay? Bye. Oh, man.
Don't make her drink any of your weirdo concoctions. Then I really will have to take her to the emergency room. No emergency room, no police. Things are complicated enough as it is. I should call them and keep them on hold for 5 hours and see how they like it.
Why, hello, young lady. How kind of you to grace an old man with your lovely presence. Yes, ma'am. Another question. How may I be of service? Why, Miss Bess, hello again. I'm delighted to report that I am indeed. Well, it's a pleasure to report that I am he. This here is my favorite spot in the whole city. Delicious gumbo, pleasing view, particularly now, I might add. I'd prefer subject matter of a happier nature, but I do not want to seem inhospitable, so what is it you want to know? Well, now, I was certainly his best friend, but I cannot honestly say that he was mine. Fact is, while socializing with my fellow man, particularly with pretty young women such as yourself, has always been a source of pleasure for me, Bruno was just the opposite. Unfortunately, the older he got, the more numerous his idiosyncrasies became, and the less concerned about their negative effect upon others he became. Now, as a doctor of medicine, I am not only accustomed to dealing with the abnormal, but I find that I am actually drawn to it. I, for one, thoroughly enjoyed Bruno's outlandish personality, although at the same time I fear it may have played a role in his demise. You see, he died of a myocardial infarction, most likely caused by age-related atherosclerosis. Dying of a heart attack is all too common for people who are socially isolated, and Bruno Bolet had most certainly become that. No, given Bruno's advanced age and the absence of any indication of foul play, an autopsy was deemed unnecessary, and the body was cremated according to Bruno's wishes. Perhaps I am, perhaps I am not. I'm sure someone as charming and attractive as yourself has her share of secrets, too. Am I right? Crews are organizations whose primary purpose is to put on parades during Mardi Gras. They also put on fabulous parties. Very private parties. Members only. Some consider crews to be private clubs. Secret societies is a term others have used. However, back in the 1990s, the city decided not to issue the Jolly Rogers any more parade permits, unless they opened their crew to pretty much anyone who wanted to join. So, refusing to be blackmailed, they chose instead to simply not put on parades anymore. As far as the city is concerned, the Jolly Rogers no longer exist. Perhaps, perhaps not. Of course not. A little lively discourse would brighten this gloomy evening considerably. Why, yes. Yes, he did. In fact, he showed it to me once. Said it had magical powers. Said owning it was going to allow him to live forever. I thought it was utter nonsense and told him so. Well, he didn't appreciate that at all. Refused to talk to me for a full 2 weeks. It was quite beautiful, actually. Life-size, perfect in form and clarity, like a diamond almost. No, he was terrified that someone would steal it from him, so he told no one its location. Not even me. Tell me, Miss Bess, what do you know about that crystal skull? Well, much as I'd like to believe that skull holds the key to immortality, I'm afraid Bruno's passing proves it's worthless. Although it would make an attractive paperweight, as I recall. Tell your friend not to give it another thought. In the foyer of his house, just inside the front door. In fact, indeed it is. I hadn't seen him for a while, so I picked that day to pay him a visit. I walked up to the front door, found it unlocked as usual, opened it, and there he was, lying on the floor in obvious distress. The next thing I know, his housekeeper came running in and started shrieking and carrying on, until finally I sent her out of the room so she could summon an ambulance, and I could once again hear myself think. Then I knelt down and saw that he wasn't breathing, so I pulled him away from the doorway so I'd have more room to work on him, and began chest compressions. I continued until the medics arrived, but nothing they did made a difference either. Yes, he was. That's always been a bit of a puzzlement to me, too. Wait a minute. Why, yes, he was holding something. A piece of paper. And on the floor next to him was an envelope. He must have collapsed while reading a letter. Now, I know the letter was no longer in Bruno's hand when the paramedics arrived, so perhaps he released the letter when I moved him. And yet I do not recall seeing it on the floor when they wheeled him out the door. Iggy.
What's Icky?
Iggy. Iggy is an iguana Bruno befriended, then turned loose in his home. It soon developed the annoying habit of stealing paper and stockpiling it in the vent system. It would not have been the first time a missing document ended up in Iggy's possession. Renee would periodically call me saying the lizard had absconded with one of Bruno's prescriptions and would I please write her up a replacement. In any case, Bruno once told me he was training Iggy, said he taught Iggy to retrieve the things it had stolen. No, but then I rarely ever saw Iggy. Moreover, no. Had he died of an overdose of the medications I had prescribed, the manner of his death would have been quite different. But he died of a heart attack. Of that I am certain. However, I know for a fact that Renee is deeply involved in the practice of hoodoo. And as Bruno's housekeeper, she had ample opportunity to use it against my poor old friend. Young lady, never, ever underestimate the power of suggestion. If a person believes in something, even on a subconscious level, fantasy can easily become fact. And who knows what rubbish Renee filled Bruno's mind with? Drink this, don't eat that, this brings good luck, that brings bad, day in and day out. Even if he said he didn't believe a word of it, who knows how much his subconscious was absorbing? He was very old and vulnerable. So could Renee have caused Bruno to have that fatal heart attack? There's not a doubt in my mind she could indeed. I see. Believe me, young lady, it's quite miraculous that I've remembered this much. It's been a pleasure, I assure you. Feel free to drop by any time. Good night. I've enjoyed our conversation immensely. No. Yes, certainly. I surely do not know. That would be fine.
No groupies in the dressing rooms. But since you're such a rascally fan, what would you say to a signed autograph from yours truly? How are you holding up? Need any help? Not now, Nancy. What are you doing hanging out with that Falcone jerk? Hey, you. Any news? Take a breath and pinch yourself because it's really happening. Brady Armstrong in the flesh. Remind me not to appoint you president of my fan club. So what was your friend doing in my dressing room? All my email goes through Simone. She reads it, she writes back. Control issues, you know? Off the record, any message that says love Brady is just a big electronic smooch from her. Simone Mueller, CEO of my life. My agent. Focus on being wholesomely smoldering, she says, and leave the rest to me. So I do. She's been setting up Premier HQ in the women's dressing room. Haven't you heard her snarling at people on the phone? Kidnapped? Maybe you better tell me what's going on here. But where could they have taken her? What did they say? Star of Vanishing Destiny? Go ahead, faint. I'll catch you. Goodbye, Nancy. I hope you find your friend. Those stinking radicals. They're the ones who are flipping out over saving this theater. Nicholas Falcone and his tree hugger pals. Sure thing. How can I help? Roger. I found it in the basement. The balcony. It was the balcony. Please, Nancy. It's not me. It's Simone. She's relentless. I'm just a hostage on her runaway bus. It's more complicated than you think. Listen, I've got to get ready for this press conference. I'll talk to you later. That guy's bad news, and he's certainly not going to help your credibility with the police. Just trying to help. I'm Wave of the Future, Inc., the owner of this theater, great nephew of JJ himself. I haven't done anything wrong. I've sworn to be the captain of my own destiny. Maya was going to expose me, muck up my name in this controversy. It would have been a dark cloud over the launch of Tinseltown. Huh? I'm afraid you've lost me. Okay, Nancy, here's the deal. My real name is Brady Thompson. Simone pushed for Armstrong, more wholesomely smoldering, she said. The place is shabby. It needs major repairs. It's a money pit and a has-been. Not the image I want to project. I didn't kidnap her. I found her notepad in the basement with the press pass. I just thought I'd hang on to it for a few days until the dust settles. Sorry, Nancy. Look, you're not thinking clearly. It's obvious she's not in the building. We've searched everywhere. You're the only one who thinks she's here. There's no evidence. He's a confused old codger. He's an outlaw, and he's using you. Never underestimate the power of image, Nancy. You are what you project. When I saw these ritzy-themed restaurants popping up all over the country, it hit me like pow. My first original idea. Brady Armstrong's Planet Tinseltown. Can't you see it on the marquee? Grand opening. The lights will say it all. Evidence that no one was able to verify. Who's to say you didn't imagine that stuff? Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to rally a wrecking crew. When people think of Brady Armstrong, they think sparkling white teeth and healthy glow. Success glows. It doesn't crumble and sag. The hero never rides a has-been horse. Well, I thought you said it was about me. Hundreds? Try thousands. Be my guest. Me? You think I kidnapped Maya and then breezed in here just 4 minutes later? Where would I hide her? In my back pocket? Charmstrong? I was late getting back from a haircut. This is hard for me. I think my hairline might be receding. It's miserable. Simone's gonna go through the roof. Well, Maya was kidnapped from my dressing room after all. I just can't help thinking maybe they meant to kidnap me. Just past him in the hall. He was looking for you. Then what did she want to talk to me for? I'm an actor, not a politician. Wow, are you sure? I didn't see anything. Cool beans. You betcha. Don't be a stranger. I'm here if you need me. Bye. Hey, you. Oh, Nancy. Hey. Wow. Evidence. Where?
Look! The marquee! Stop the demolition!